Okay, so here we are back again. Ship move has opened up in my Visual Studio finally. I had to upgrade to, this is Visual Studio 2015. Human Head was using 2013, so I had to upgrade, and therefore it took a while to load. So void update is what we want to do. Now, we don't know yet what we need to do, but the pseudocode is going to be with a reference to slider, move slider down by some small percentage. I just want to show you basically how this would be done, and I'm going to do it in an update, but normally this would be done in like a collision event or something like that. So first we need to get the reference to the slider, so that's the pseudocode there. So getting the reference to the slider is going to be basically a matter of having a UI element. The slider is a UI element here that we've clicked. We want value to be, so right now value is set at, what is value set at? 0.816. We want value to be changeable, and we want that, we want to drag this slider bottom onto the ship move script. That's what we're trying to do. So we need to, in order to do that, we need to cross-reference and figure out how to get reference to a slider in Unity, which should be fairly straightforward. Looks like it's called UI slider. And here it is in our handy dandy reference. It's just called slider. So we're going to go into ship move. We're going to say public slider Is that right? Hold on, I gotta check that. Yeah, so what I was missing was we have to say using Unity engine.ui, and then we can have access to slider. So I'm going to save this, go back to Unity, go to my fighter, go to ship move. Oh, we need to compile again. We've got some compile errors. Just not finding that. Let me try a couple other things here. Okay, I don't know, I was thinking about C++ or something, so I put a public in where I didn't need one. It's just slider, health slider. That should give you a reference inside of here. I'm going to go into the fighter ship move. Well, it should be public after all. I was right. I think I might have mistyped it or something. Maybe I could put a capital P. Well, anyway, I'm probably not going to record just for that. So what you should know is it is public slider, health slider. Then we've got a reference to slider down here, so we can drag our bottom slider over to here. We can therefore go to our code now that we've got that reference. Unity is all about references. And I think there is a way to do this with the event system of the slider, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. So I'm going to say some small number. Negative 0.00001 F, because this is going to happen every frame. I should see that changing, and I'm not, so let's figure out what's going on. Slider bottom. Oh, it is going down, just very, very slowly, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want it to all go down right at once. So my whole point of showing you guys this is basically that what you can do is, you can imagine if you had some collision code, say, let's go back to here. Say you had some collision code, like a function that was handling the collision and the hitting of the ship. You could say health.slider or health_slider.value minus equals damage, for example, and that would deduct your your health. So just going down. You know what? Just to double check here, because I'm that way, I'm going to say 0.1 and just try that again. It's so easy to just change stuff in Unity that why not? Yep, it goes down right away. So that does exactly what we think it would do. So the other thing that I promised I was going to show you is I think there is a way to set this up with events. So in our slider, we have on value change single. Oh, actually, hold on, that might be going back the other way. So what I was hoping to show you was a way for this to basically register an event, and then we could call this from an event. Instead, I'm seeing that we've got on value changed here, and that at runtime, this can call certain functions on certain objects. So if the slider value itself is changed, we can call functions, but there's no other way other than having a reference to it, unfortunately, to call that. Maybe that's something they'd fix with the next version of Unity to make it a little slicker. But I think this is fine. Most of Unity works by references, as I mentioned. So almost always in Unity, what you have to remember is when you are creating that reference, you have to make it a public. Then you have to give the type and then the name of it, and then you have to drag it over in the editor. And once you do that, you can muck with it. So here I am messing around with it. And I set that to negative 0.1f. And change that again, make it something a little more reasonable. And there we go. So that concludes our whirlwind tour of a 3D GUI using a method that's quite similar to render textures. All right, so just to talk at you really briefly, your proposals were due last week, so hopefully you got those in. I will be reading through those with Eric, and we will make recommendations if we think you should change your project. Next week, we're going to be doing a pre-alpha type of thing, so I'll be talking to you about what you should be doing on your projects, and I'll probably record a video for that so we can get on the same page with it. Other than that, continue these tutorials, and this would be your homework to get this full tutorial zipped up to us by the end of the week. All right, goodbye.